Let's get into this wash off mask by Red One. It's a detoxifying geothermal clay mask that has the power of geothermal energy designed to dive deep into the layers of your skin, detoxifying impurities and rejuvenating every single pore. It's rich in moisturizing agents and it ensures your skin remains hydrated, soft, and supple. Experience the dual magic of detoxification and hydration all in one luxurious mask. Your skin deserves the best. And don't forget, check out all the Red One products like the bubblegum gel that prevents flaking and helps your curls to remain popping. All available at Fresh Market HBC.
Let's talk about frame fitments. Now, this is a frame that is too small. These frame temples are sticking out. If you look, they are sticking out to the side, resting way too tightly on the temple. This rubbing will cause your hair to fall out eventually and leave imprints on the skin. This frame is also too short. If you notice, the curvature here is not falling on the top of the ear, causing the frame to tilt forward, giving a very nudie look. You don't want that. Have you ever experienced your frames falling forward? This could mean your frames are too big. If you see here, there's too much space in between the frame temple and my temple, causing it to slide forward, as you can see here. This frame is too long. You can see the curvature is way behind the actual ear. This means it is not going to hook behind the ear, causing it to slide forward when you look down. A proper fitting frame is when the curvature lands directly on the top of the ear, giving a nice hook behind the ear itself. That way it doesn't slide forward. And also that you have just about a millimeter space between the frame temple and your temple, so it doesn't have any rubbing that can rub off the hair and leave any marks. Now we also want your eyes to be as centered as possible with the lens. That way you don't have any quirky looks of it being too big or too small.
Did you know that vegetable oil is an energy booster that contains fatty acids that helps control cholesterol levels? That's why I choose Natura vegetable oil. They are a rich source of vitamin A and E. It's the best choice for cooking, deep frying, and stir frying. It's perfect for cold dishes and for your salad dressings. Cook delicious foods with Natura vegetable oil. Natura vegetable oil is available in various sizes at all retailers island-wide and distributed by Springfield Trading Limited.
I love the Kalinago territory, I love the Kalinago people, and I really embrace my culture.
How the hell do we expect to survive as a communal society in a capitalist system?
We need to teach that history that have not been taught.
Hello, good evening. Welcome, welcome one and all. Welcome to another Jael Joseph Live. I've been seeing you guys every week now. we should be good, right? We're in a good place. We're in a happy place. We're in our own little place. Yes, welcome. Welcome. Probably going to be adding some more shows, some more nights. So we'll keep you guys informed on that because listen, people's want to be coming on the show. We're going to take them all, right? Because we love sharing stories. We love hearing about our people. And I'm so glad to be back here with you for another episode of exclusive interviews. Today we have the Kick Boss, Akim Ismael, is going to be joining us right here on the show. And I'm so excited to talk. We're going to go deep. We're going deep. Listen, we're going deep. And we're going to be talking with him about his life growing up and his recent accomplishment, winning the Kick Boss Championship out in, I believe it was in Tortola, one of the Tortola, British, the BBIs, one of those areas up there, right? He won. I know what it is, but my brain's not burning right now. Okay, so we're gonna be talking to him about his recent win, and we're so excited to have him on. I just want to say thank you very much to all those of you. Let's see who's on. Who is on the live? We got Lola. Lola, I see you coming through. Lola, listen, guys, I'm giving away some stuff tonight. I'm in a good mood. Last week we didn't give away anything, but this week we're giving away stuff. But you gotta tag in one post. So in one tag, you have to tag as many people as possible, and the person who tags the most people will obviously win, right? The first one. That's the first person to tag the most people wins. That's it. Period. That's it. So we're gonna be giving away some goodies. I want to big up the folks out there at Fresh Market Health, Beauty and Cosmetics. Of course, last week there was the Glow and Grow soiree that happened at Fresh Market HBC. What a wonderful event! Those of you who were there, I'm sure you can say that you really did have a good time. The wine was wining, the food was fooding, and the entertainment and the guest speakers were just absolutely amazing. And I want to say thank you very much to them for allowing me to be part of such a wonderful event held to commemorate International Women's Day. And I had a good time, and I know a lot of the folks who were there had a fantastic time. And I was running my mouth a lot at the event because I was the MC for the night and spoke a little bit about two products that I absolutely love. If you suffer from hypopigmentation, that is where you get dark discoloration, like around your neck, along your arms, on your face. This is really good. This is a really good product that I've been using because I do suffer from discoloration. So it's a Red One detoxifying clay mask with geothermal action, and it is available at Fresh Market Health, Beauty and Cosmetics. You can actually go upstairs and purchase it on your own. But today I'm giving away full size, not a sample size, giving away a full size to the first person to tag the most people in the post. And you can do this multiple times, but you have to ensure that you do it in one post. Okay, so one post. Don't tag people one. One post, tag people. And I also spoke about Dr. Teal's, another one of my favorite brands. Listen to me, any food yo pay under Dr. Teal's. What can do? You can put something as soon as they hit the bed, you can put something. No joke. Dr. Teal's, but this is actually the foot cream with pure Epsom salt. So if you have like really dryness, I also suffer from a little bit of dryness, especially around my ankle area, my ankle area, and as well as along my toe area. So this moisturizes and softens. It has shea butter, it has aloe vera, great products. So I'm giving away these two products this evening to the first person to tag the most person. That's it. First person to tag the most person. That's it. And you win. I want to congratulate the folks who've been winning the last couple of weeks on the show. So congratulations. I just dropped the donors body wash by Dr. Teals. We've been playing like cat and mouse with each other. I traveled in between. You know how the deal works. But she got her stuff. Gone and waiting for my picture, okay? And all the other Raymond, I believe, was the other person who won. Congratulations to you guys, and congratulations to all the folks who constantly win here on the show. You know, if you come here, I like to do a little giveaway. You know, you take like a Wednesday to hang out with me. So, you know, a little giveaway not gonna hurt nobody, right? Right. So we're getting ready to start off the show. I see we have Angel Clark in the house. Andrea Williams is in the house. Good evening to you. Marvin Philip Badwell says, let's go Akim, my customer and countryman. My customer and countryman. Shara is there. Present, Miss. Shara is there. Leandra and Travis Johnson, they're here. Welcome, guys, to the show. Also want to say thank you very much to my sponsors, Digicel. You know, in March, and Digicel is doing all of the crazy March madness stuff for y'all. Let me tell you. So if you activate a Prime bundle, you get a chance to win $1,000 cash weekly. I've been enjoying the supermarket trips. I don't know if you guys have been seeing them. They've been happening at a few supermarkets, and they're so exciting when you gotta shop for $1,000. I don't know why can't I participate, because I would know exactly what to take if I win $1,000 shopping spree. Let me tell you. And folks have been shopping till they dropped in at various participating supermarkets, and Digicel is continuing the March Madness Cash Mania all month long for the entire month of March. So I want to say thank you very much to them for coming on board. Also, don't forget, if you sign up for a postpaid plan and you get a Samsung series for only $100 plus 50% off the first 3 months. There are lots of promotions going on at Digicel. I don't want my lip gloss. My lip gloss is getting light, not true? My lip gloss is glossing. Also, want to say thank you very much to another one of my sponsors, Finance Focus. Yeah, big up to you, Luana, at Finance Focus. I mean, everything you gotta do, you gotta make sure that there's you focus on the finances. Okay, for free. All right, so check out Luana. Luana is very good at helping you manage your finances, so you can connect with her. She's available on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. And if you're having difficulties in terms of managing your finances, she can help you get you back on track. I mean, we're getting up into the half of the year, and some of us still live paycheck to paycheck, and probably Luana can assist you in getting you on track. All right. Also want to say big up to my sponsor, Springfield Trading, the agent for Natura Oil. If you're frying, baking, cooking, well, I can tell us a little bit more about that. Right? Use Natura Oil, right? I can tell us a little bit about that. So it's available at Springfield Trading, also at Smart, so you can check them out for that. We're ready to get into it. We're ready to get into it. Where my people? Are you guys there? I see you guys. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget, I probably should pin this so people don't forget. If you tag the most people in one post, and you get a chance to win these 2 products here this evening. That is the red one, detoxifying clay mask, geothermal action, or the Dr. Teal's foot cream with pure Epsom salt. Yo, yes. So let's get this show on the road. I'm actually trying to see where I can pin this. Last week I was trying to pin, and I lost my entire back end of things, and I don't want to do that tonight. So I'm treading lightly. Like I said, your mood to share the whole lot. Tout ça café. Depuis vous c'était arrivé, mon quoi c'est son petit diable. Depuis c'était arrivé, say happy. It's either it's hungry or somebody who needs something. Every single night from 7 p.m. Tell the neighbor to control the door because it's annoying. Yes. Yes, we're getting ready to get this show on the road. Akim is ready. I don't know if you guys are ready. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? I see Barry's Burns. Yeah. I'm sorry if I mess up your name. Welcome. Welcome, my love. Welcome, welcome. I'm still trying to pin the damn thing. Stoop. Still trying to pin it without ruining my interface. So that I can communicate with you guys. I want to be able to communicate. Last week it was a problem, and thankfully I had to activate another in another area, and that was how I was able to actually see anyone. So we're getting ready. Are you guys ready for the show? I'm ready. I want to big up everyone who's played an integral role in getting this show put together. Thanks again to the sponsors. Thanks to my assistant, the with the mostest, Samaj. Thank you very much to Onika and the rest of the gang. Thank you for all of the support that you guys give. I truly appreciate it. I think I forgot to thank you for your last week. So I'm making sure I do all my thank yous. Okay. Hi Diana, welcome. Hi Candy. Akim wife is ready. Candy says Akim wife is ready. What shit? Akim Mate Sam, the wife was cooking. We're getting ready for the show. Akim is here. And we are ready to go. We're gonna get deep and we're gonna get into it. I want to say without further ado, I want to welcome Akim Ismael to the show. Welcome.
Thank you, Jael. Good evening, everyone. Of course, Jael said my name already. My name is Akim Ismael from the village of Mahu, the village that never sleeps.
That don't true, because last week I was then was sleeping.
It was dread. Well, times are moving, eh?
It was well dread. It was properly dread. I was like, I couldn't see. I was trying to count people, and like I didn't count a soul on the road in Maho. But welcome to the show. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Jael.
First of all, I want to congratulate you on your big win. Congratulations on Cake Boss, the Caribbean, the newest Caribbean Cake Boss. Congratulations on being that, and we'll talk a little bit about your journey to becoming the Cake Boss, to even winning. We want to get into it. We want to find out all of the challenges and all of the excitement that came with your journey to becoming the Cake Boss. But we kind of want to start off like we do every show, getting to know a little bit more about you. You mentioned you're from Maho, and you spoke a little bit about obviously I know you from like way back. like sometimes though it's so funny, Akim. It's funny when I say I know people. People like, but Jill, you know everybody. But you participated in Q Talent Search eons ago. Eons ago. Yes. And I remember, interacting with you and how much of a great experience it was. And to now, like to see how you've evolved, to see how all the different changes, I'm so impressed by you. So I've known you since then, but many other people have known you since you were a little child. So tell us a little bit about Akim. Did you always live and were you raised in Maho, or is sometimes people say I'm from Roseau, but we know that this country they come out. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing.
All right. Yes. Well, as I said, I'm from Mahu. Of course, I've always been living in Mahu. Right now, I reside in Jimmet. Well, of course, Mahu and Jimmet is the same constituency. Yeah. Well, Akim has always been the very talented type. From a very young age. I remember growing up being very much involved in church. And of course, some of you all can attest that. So up until this time, I'm still involved in church. Really, I started off with my music life, and it was really in church that I started, and I'm still a musician in church. It's about
Breaks. Let's not go there. We don't want to go there too fast.
too
We don't want
fast.
to give
Okay.
all of the information. So where did you go to school?
Oh well, my school life. I went to the Mahu Primary School, and then I moved on to the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School, where I spent 3 years at Isaiah Thomas Secondary School, and
So
then
you went all the way to Isaiah.
yes, and then I transferred from
Why?
Isaiah Thomas. Well, at the time, if it depends on the school that you went to, then your district, you had to go to a certain high school. So the Mahu Primary School, all the students from the Mahu Primary School would have gone to the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School. The only way you could have gotten a school from Roseau is by pull string. So you
But
would have
that is
you have
crazy
to have
because
somebody
closer to from
to.
Maho to Roseau than Maho to Senjo.
Well, that's how it was at the time. Now you are able to go to any school that you want. So I transferred from the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School to St. Mary's Academy. And really, it was my godfather who thought that, I was behind God's back. So they wanted to see more of me and my education. So he transferred me to the from the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School to the St. Mary's Academy. And of course, it was a great experience. And I think it was such a great move because that's where I really started with my kick journey at the St. Mary's Academy. Well, at Isaiah Thomas as well, but really at St. Mary's Academy.
Breaks. So Akim, do you have siblings? Like, do you have
I do.
brothers and
I do.
sisters?
I
Tell
do.
us a
I
little bit
have,
about.
right. So I have two brothers and one sister. And of course, I look a lot like my brother and my sister. So we all look alike. Um, so my brother, some people may know, who has a shop in town. He's a technician. He's into computers. And then my sister, so my brother's name is Terry, and my sister's name is Mersha. She works at Greens Wholesale. Yeah, we are
Wow,
very, very knitted. We are very, very close.
your brother has a shop.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What's
Next
the name of the
Premier
shop?
Computing, Tech Solutions.
Ah, nice. Okay, so I'm understanding now where you, because sometimes you see people look like people and you're wondering like what is the connection, and now that you said it, I'm just like, oh my god, like I see the resemblance. I see where you're coming from. So you're born raised in Maho. You moved from
Mahu to Gmail.
Isaiah,
Oh,
but you
from the
moved from
school.
yes, ITSS to SMA when you were in third form. Did you feel like that made a difference in your life? Like, or what? Because you said that your godfather was the one that really tried to put you
Yes.
further. Obviously, I guess you were further away from them, and they wanted to keep tabs on your education. But did you think that that made a significant difference in terms of, did you see your grades excel? Like what happened when you started to go to SMA?
Okay, well, actually, I went back into food form, and then I repeated food form, and to me that was the best thing that the decision that they took, because it really helped me. So there is a saying, when you go to Isaiah Thomas, well, any of the schools in the country, it's kind of different from the schools in the city, especially Convent High School, Grammar School, and and St. Mary's Academy, because they are more competitive. All right, so the students are more educated. Well, that's what they say. The students are more educated, and it's more competitive. So I really saw that when I really went there. It was not really different, but the level of competition,
Was tough.
yeah, it was tough.
So tell me about some of your memories in school, some of the things that you enjoyed doing. You mentioned that's where you started falling in love with cakes. But what was some of the other things that you absolutely loved? Did you play any sports? Did you?
Actually, SME, when I entered SME, I got the opportunity to showcase my voice. So the year after I entered, so I entered in 2004, and in 2005, I was asked to to perform at the school's arts festival. So that's the first time that I really sang out there, and of course it was a great experience. It was really good because that's where I really started, and then I joined the River Song Choir, the chorale. That really, 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 really groomed me, my voice especially. Thanks to Cedric for that because I learned a lot up until this day. I still use my voice. So a lot of people know me for singing, and I remember that same year in 2005, I think we celebrated our anniversary, yes. And I was asked to do a cake. So I also asked my aunt, who at the time she's deceased. I asked my aunt if she could help me do a cake and to ice a cake so I could put, to display at our open day at the St. Mary's Academy. And I did the crest, the crest that we wore. I
Yes,
did
yes.
it in the form of a cake. And that's where I really saw that I had that talent and I really wanted to continue it. Yeah.
Wow. So cake baking came naturally, or it was just something that you gravitated towards? Was it because you lived in a home where there was cake? Because I'll tell you right off the bat, like I would never think of going into cakes, me, because it's just not something that I'm interested. As a matter of fact, I'm not even a lover of cake. I love my cakes, like carrot cake and butter cake and hot from the fire to my mouth,
A
no
lot of people
icing.
make that
That is
comment.
how I like it, right? So I would never think of going into to cakes or doing cakes. What kind of what was the what really propelled you to actually start falling in love with cakes and making cakes?
Jael, from since that time, my aunt, I must say my aunt, because the following weekend, she said to me, Akim, would you like coming to my home for us to, at least work on a wedding cake? If it's something that you like, then of course it will be a starter. And I said, right there, I said, yes, auntie. And, every time she gets a wedding order, she would call me for us to work on the wedding cake. Or if she has baptism coming up and she has like these 6 and 7 cakes, I will go and help her. So it's really my aunt who pushed me because I always had the mentality that it was a woman's job. And no, at the time, at the time.
Some of the best cake bosses are women. Eh?
Yeah, and she used to put that in my head. And I remember her mentioning Cake Boss to me at that time. Cake
Mm.
Boss, and she showed me all of the books that she had, and I'm seeing these, all of these men working on cakes. And I was like, okay, auntie, I think I really want to continue this. And honestly,
Why
to
why
this
were you why were you why were you worried?
no, because
Because
I mean, you hear of a lot of women doing cakes in Dominica. At the time, you never really had men working on cakes. It was more strictly women. I hear about Faye Mate, Mrs. Roberts in Goodwill. Who again? A lot of women. Most of the cake makers, Jennifer Fadel, a lot of these cake makers were women at the time. In Dominica, we always had that close-minded thing. So, I really told my aunt I don't want to do it because I know it's a woman's job. And then when she started showing me all of the books and, I'm seeing these guys working on cake, and she told me, look at the show Cake Boss. It was only men doing the cakes. And I was like, okay, auntie, fine. Thanks for the encouragement.
what did she ever make you work on it by yourself?
Was that
Like
excuse me?
did she ever allow you to do one of the
Oh,
was it
yes. Oh yes, I remember. She challenged me, and interestingly, a few days ago, my cousin sent me a picture of her cake that I did for her many years ago. But that same cousin of mine, my aunt challenged me to do a cake for her, and it was her 17th birthday, I think, and we were at the same age, so I was like 17 as well. So yes, I did. So I always
Wow.
remember where I started, and I used that situation. They called my cousin's birthday cake.
You mentioned that cakes were not only the things that you loved. You also loved music. You loved singing. You credit Cedric for allowing you to be part of a
The
company, I
River
should
Song,
say.
yeah, River Song Choral.
Right now, you're also known for playing musical instruments like the
Yes,
piano.
I do. Yes,
How
I
did
do.
that get started?
Oh, Jael, that was many years ago, since in 1998. I was a little boy, and I remember being in church. Well, my mom always ensured that we attended Mass every Sunday, all my siblings, together with my dad. And I remember that particular Sunday I was at Mass, and, you know, I've always been looking at this lady playing the guitar. She was a teacher at the Mahu Primary School. That's Augustina Theophil. We call her Teacher Baby. So I always remember her, playing the guitar. And
The
at
dog eating somebody.
Mass,
The dog eating
yes,
somebody.
yes. So some disturbance, a motorbike. Right. So I used to leave my mom where she was sitting, and I used to go to the other side and just looking at her playing the guitar. And sometimes I would use my hand and do as if I'm playing the guitar as well. So it was Father Charles on that particular Sunday, who was the main celebrant. And he was looking at me and he was saying, who is the mother or the father of this young guy? So he's saying to the congregation that it looks like he wants to play an instrument and it seemed like it's the guitar. So my mother raised her hand, and there after mass, he met my mother and he said that he's willing to send me to music school. And the same week, Father Charles registered me for guitar at Kyrie School of Music at the time. And then when Kyrie School of Music closed down, I went to Christian Music School. Yeah. So I started
Wow.
with the guitar. Yes,
So
I
you can
started.
play the guitar.
Yeah, I play the guitar. I play the piano, keyboard. I play the flute, and of course, I started the trumpet some years ago, and I never continued.
You
So
are
my
so talented, Akim.
well, my first instrument, I must say, my first instrument was a tambourine. Playing the tambourine, the shak shak, we call it the shak shak. And I remember my father getting me, buying me a shak shak just for me to practice. And I used to make a lot of noise in the neighborhood. And then I started playing in church, and then I started playing the guitar. And I played the guitar for many years until I think 2005 when I really moved into, so from 1999 to 2005 until I moved to the piano. And I continued playing the piano from time to time, but really I was playing the guitar for some time.
So Akim, you've been heavily involved in
Yes.
you sing, you play instruments, you talk about like a conversation cannot come up if you don't mention church
Oh, yes.
or or the fact that you go to church regularly, that you started you yourself told us you started going to church a very early o'clock. But somebody told me that you were almost a priest.
Me, almost a processor. Well, it's something that I had in mind. I had to give it some thought because you have to think deeply whether or not you enter. Because when you go into the priesthood, you have to devote your entire time and your life to God. I'm not saying that being an individual now, a single person, you cannot give your life to Christ. But being in the priesthood, in the religious life, is completely different. You know, you have to be able to serve people, and that is the main important thing, being able to lead a flock and to serve people. And you know, I had to give it some thought, and I don't think that's something that I feel that I can do, you know. So I went for the discernment period, and of course I had to make up my mind, and I say, you know, I can serve the church some other way, and here am I playing in church. That's the way that I serve the church. Okay, so there are
Wow,
different ways you can serve the church.
that is really beautiful because I know you play at two different masses every Sunday.
Yes, I do. It's a
Tell
task.
tell us something because Miss I doesn't even go to church. Gigi who play at two masses every single Sunday. Tell us about that and how
Well,
did you get started playing at two different masses?
Jael, let's go back in time. It used to be so tough. When I was in school, well, I need to mention that, and a lot of my friends know that about me. One more thing that some people may not know, but a lot of my friends, my close friends, would know that about me. Jill, I love bells. I love church bells. The big bells, I just love. I'm
You have an
fascinated by
obsession.
bells. Obsession, yes. I'm fascinated by bells. And you know, I used to wake up every morning as a little boy, and my mother can attest to that. And I used to go to the porch and wait for the 6 a.m. bell on a Sunday. And I say, Mommy, Mommy, the bell ringing, you know.
That is a great thing to love.
Mommy, the bell ringing, you know, the bells. And I used to wait for that. I used to wait for the 6:30 bell and then the 5 to 7, you know, just before Mass, and to hear the Vesper, the before Mass bells. And then up until the time I started ringing the bells myself for some years. And yes,
Wow.
I started ringing the bells in Massac since 2004. Yeah, about 2004, 2005. So we used to alternate, myself and the bell ringer, until he, sometimes there are a lot of people who stray away from church, you know, so there are times he could not come, so I would fill in, and of course for funerals as well. I loved ringing the bells for funerals and weddings. So, you know, I used to ring the bells in Massac for 7, and then I would have to go to Mau for 10 o'clock to play. Right. Then at one point, I used to play in Massac as well, ring the bells and play in Massac as well. So I used to be part of the choir in Massac. But I remember the musician, she was pregnant. Well, with all her children, I fill in the gap. So when she was on maternity, I used to play at the time. But when she's there, I would sing. And then, of course, I would do the psalms as well. So I used to do that 7 o'clock and then 10 o'clock. Then I used to, well, one Sunday be in Massac, and then the next Sunday I used to alternate. I would be in Canfield at 8 a.m. playing, and then I would go down to Mahu for 10 a.m. And that was myself and Carol. I'm not sure if you know Carol Bruno. So
Yes.
he used to play the drum, I used to play the guitar. So I used to play for the senior choir. So they had a youth choir and a senior choir in Canfield. So every second Sunday and fourth Sunday, the senior choir would sing. So I would play for the senior choir, while Emil Lansdott would play for the junior choir. So they would sing first and fifth, first and third, and if there is a fifth Sunday. Yeah. And
So your
then
Sunday was pretty much devoted to church.
to church. And at the time I was at school. I was at school at the time. And then after a while, people grow older and they become very much committed to other things than church. So they only had one choir in Canfield. So I think Emily used to play for that choir. And in I think it's 2011. I used to help the Fatima choir, so I used to play on a Saturday night. Sometimes, if I'm not playing, I would be singing with my friends, and that's Karim, Trevor, Leandra, the choir in Fatima. And I really, really love that choir because there was such a nice blend. And of course, it's because it was the Sister Singer members, the Sister Singers members. So we always make a joyful noise. And I really love singing with them. So I used to take a bus and get to town and then walk to Fatima for Mass at 7 p.m. And then whoever that is, they would drop me home after. So and then I continued playing in Mahu. I never stopped playing in Mahu. And in 2021, yes, 2012, well, up until 2017, I used to ring the bells in Massac. 2017, when our church kibosh after
Hurricane
my
Maria.
and Jael, let me tell you, I'm being very honest, very very honest. I feel very emotional now, but a piece of my heart gone. I miss my bells. I miss it. I miss it badly, badly.
Wow.
It just used to be a joy waking up and going to ring the bells. I mean, what are your other young person who commit themselves to do something like that, and I feel yes, it's God's work, and that's why I always tell myself I'm blessed, and I use my talents to glorify God, and that's the only thing that I do. I use it to glorify God. God always tells us that we should share any talent that I have. Anybody knows me, I go all out to teach them exactly what I know. I don't hold back. That is just me. You understand? That's just me. And I believe God gave me that talent to use it. I have to use it and also to bless others with that talent. And that's exactly what I do. So and I was telling you in 2021, the pianist in Saint Joseph, he died. He passed away. And I know that they would not have music because it was Martin Charles playing for them together with him, Anthony John. But Anthony John passed away, and we all know that Martin is in China. He's the ambassador in China. So he's
Mhm.
no longer in Dominica, so they would be left without music. So at the same time, I thought about it. I was sitting there in the pew and I say, boy, maybe I should take up the challenge. Maybe I should just take up the responsibilities because I don't like when church choir suffers without music. It's not nice, and not having music in a church is already a deterrent to young people.
It
It
is.
becomes
It is
right.
because they find it boring.
Right.
Yes.
Some young people say, "Oh, I go to church and I don't get no good. I cannot dance. I know music, and the choir is so boring." So I say,
It's
"Boy,
dry like dry bakes.
right." And I say, a community like Saint Joseph that has been so rich with young people. I say, I am going to take up the responsibility. So I approached um, Father Jackie at the time before he died. And I told him, Father, I know you all don't have music. And before I could open my mouth, he said, can you play first? Can you play first? I was like, Father, that's what that was in my mind. So I said, okay, Father, I will take up the responsibility. I will see what I can do. And from there, I continued up until this time. Only when Martin is there, I get a little free up. So I allow him to play. I allow him to play, and I
You
just
allow
don't.
me to play.
Just because it's very general, it's very taxing. On a Sunday, it is a challenge. And I said to myself, I think God was speaking to me at the time. And to me, straying away from that now, it's like I'm going to break something. I said, God, yes, I will do it. God, I will do it. I think He spoke to
So
me
how
at the
many
time.
places you play? How many places you play on a Sunday now presently?
On a Sunday, I play at St. Joseph at 8 a.m. So 8 a.m. mass at St. Joseph and 10:30 a.m. in Kingsfield.
Wow.
So right after St. Joseph, I have to drive up to Kingsfield.
You have to fly down to Kenfield.
Yeah, fly down. Yeah, that's true.
Wow. We have some folks, in the comments, Joanne John Baptiste is saying Akim has a heart of gold. Jean Gomes, his joy is radiating through his skin. I love it. Joanna Ambo is saying, Amen, brother. Gina Abraham is saying, you're definitely an asset to our parish. Akim is extremely talented with a sweet soul. Um, Jen, Jana, Jadani, I think that is. Um, he don't lie. All know he have shagway. I guess talking about the bells and you're not having to, you're not being able to ring the bell.
I'm telling you.
Um, uh, Sugars is saying Akim is a darling. And a lot of folks are commenting and saying, how much of a wonderful person you are. But Akim, you've spoken about um, playing music, singing, all of that. But you're also a teacher.
Yes, I am. I've been at the convent high school for 11 years now. Yeah.
So I mean, what you're telling me is that you're built to serve, because here you are doing music, serving the church, and then you also are a dedicated teacher. Tell us a little bit about why did you want to become a teacher? Why a teacher?
Jael, that was God's doing, eh? That's another call from God. Um, I used to work at Springfield Trading in 2007, I think. Yeah, 2007, I started working at Springfield up until
One of the
2000.
sponsors of the show.
Yes, yes, yes. One of the sponsors and one of my sponsors as well. Yes. So I ended my working at Springfield, my employment at Springfield in 2013. And when I left, Mrs. Dublin called me, and
Really?
it was no thought of mine. I was never thinking of teaching. I was never thinking of that. And I got a call from Mrs. Dublin, and she was saying, we're looking for somebody to teach music. And I was like, Mrs. Dublin, do I really want to do teaching? I always think of when I was in high school, the stress that teachers went through. I
The
wasn't
stress you
prepared
give teachers.
for that. And dealing with young girls, it's a stress. But Jael, I took up the challenge. I said right there, yes, Mrs. Zomin, I'm willing to. And then I had the interview, and I started in April of 2013. Um, and Jael, up until this time, I can tell you, my kids are a blessing. I love them dearly. And they can tell you so, Jael. I love working with children. They, and even teaching religion, the comments and the questions that they have to ask, as pertains to, reality now, what we are facing. Of course, you are seeing so many things happening in the world today, and as young children, they do not know so much about it. So you have to try to educate them and try to get them to understand what is happening, really happened before, and now you are seeing it before your eyes. So I mean, it becomes challenging, but somewhat easier every year. It becomes challenging because every year we get a different crop, and
Wow.
also the crops are not the same. So what we may face last year, we may not face it this year with the new crop that we're getting. Okay, and
I found I'm glad
every,
I'm glad I'm
go
glad you
ahead.
brought that up, because I found like nowadays young people have their own ideologies
Yes,
on
they do.
on so many different things, because now they're exposed obviously to the internet. They see how things are happening, what is going on, not just around the world in terms of wars and all of these different things, but a lot of social things that are going on. And now we have situations where young people have like identifying differently. You
Yes.
have and you have to try and be respectful of that,
Oh
while
yes,
still
you have to.
teaching something like religion. Like, how do you navigate all of the different ideologies that young girls will probably have or come up to you with, when it comes to where religion meets with that? Like, how do
Well,
you navigate?
it's a challenge, It's a challenge. It's really a challenge. We try to break it down in the best way possible to get them to understand. But you know, we don't have only Catholics in the school. We also have
Yes, it's one of the
Pentecostals.
days when it used to be just
Right,
now.
right. And of course you cannot change the minds, but you can more or less educate them. You can educate them about the faith and get them to understand what the faith is about. And I believe all of us, we do have one faith. We do believe in God. You know, we believe in God, we believe in Jesus, we believe in the resurrection, we believe, of course, in
For the most part.
death, right? Okay, so the main events. All right, so we focus on Jesus. That's why when we get to the upper level, like third form and fourth form, we mainly focus on Jesus. Okay, Jesus in the New Testament. All right, encountering the New Testament, and it's really Jesus that we're encountering.
So how do you talk to students who don't even believe in Jesus?
Whew, boy, Jael.
Because because I'll tell you like and I'm speaking from experience that a lot of young people today believe that it is scientifically impossible to come from dust and to be like they do not believe in the Bible and a lot of the teachings of the Bible. And as a young man, because I consider you still young,
Mhm.
as a young man, you know, being coming from a generation where you grew up so heavily involved in church and heavily impacted by service and servitude, in the church, to now hear young people say, you know what, I don't really believe that. Like, and I'm telling you that like there are young people who will tell you that it is scientifically impossible, right? And how do you navigate that water when they tell you these things, or do they even tell you these things? I mean, one of the tools I use is saying, hey, people are entitled to their opinions and their beliefs, and you have to be respectful of that. You have to embrace whatever. You don't have to participate, but you have to acknowledge that people are entitled to believe in different things. But being a teacher of on a subject where people can literally tell you, "Garçon, ou para pa- c'est ça tout qu'a parlé," in so many words, how do you navigate that?
And well, Jael, all of these things are fueled by their parents. Some of the parents are not, they don't believe in God. Some of them are even well, I wouldn't say Rastafarians, but some of them are atheists. They just don't believe that there is a God. And you have to try to break it in their brains that how do you even have life? How did you come onto this earth? When you go to bed, you wake up in the morning, someone wake you up, right? Someone give you the breath of life, right? So who gave you the breath of life? God did. God did give you the breath of life. And even yesterday, Father Elton, he preached at St. Joseph. There's a Lenten retreat going on in St. Joseph. And he was talking about, you know, the 186,000 minutes that we have during the day, and then 186,000 minutes that we have during the night that we go to bed. Something like that he was talking about, and he was saying that we should be grateful for that time because not many people get to see another day. Many people go to bed, and if you think of the scripture, Jesus tells us no one knows the time nor the hour. And it is really true. And you are seeing that day after day. No one knows the time nor the hour. Of course, if Jesus is saying something like that to us, there is some sort of some power in there. There is some power. There is some force that is of course waking us up in the morning. Yeah.
The generation we're dealing with right now, I say kudos to you as a teacher, that you're able to because I myself teach, but thankfully I don't teach religion or music, so I don't have to get into these types of conversations. But it I see it as a tremendous challenge on society in how a lot of these young people are being reshaped. I say because they're reshaped, and you say parents, some of them are not even fueled by parents. Some those kids will go online and they'll research, they play games with individuals from all different walks of life who bring up situations, and they learn from what they see online, and a lot of them will come up with their own conclusions on life and where they got life from. And it's really very, it's both, for me it's interesting to see, as well as it's somewhat scary, knowing that there is a generation that is almost thinking of eliminating the god, or to know that because when we are gone, what is to come is what will come, right?
Oh, yes.
um and it is very, it's a little bit threatening, so to speak. I want to get into more of your fun moments. So tell us some of your fun memories of being a teacher.
My fond memories of being a teacher, being able to, to interact with the kids, especially when we have days like Come As You Like and, Independence. So, I will dance with them, of course, and, don't ask for Come As You Like. I always try to make them laugh. So I will give jokes. I will dance in all kind of ways. I'll dance like people. Most of my friends know I'm a fun person, so I like to make joke and crack jokes. So that's the times I like, being, and even before class as well. We will have little jokes, passing here, there, and everywhere. So that's the time I like with my kids when we have to, maybe dance together as Come As You Like and Independence.
I don't want to miss anything. Are there any other activities that Akim partakes in before we get into the cake stuff? Because you do so many things. Somebody just messaged me and asked me, is he married?
No, I'm not. Well, not as yet.
And is he looking?
If I'm looking for someone, well, the ball is in their court. Make the break.
I keep saying make the break. I keep saying make the break. I hope you get your answer, my person who just messaged. I hope you get your answer. So, are there any other activities that you are involved in that
Well,
you like?
I have been involved with Hysteria Carnival Mass, mainly in the costume building, the King and Queen. So that's something again that I do. Um, I don't go very deep into it, but I do assist when I have to, and only for Hysteria.
Wow. Why only hysteria?
Well, because I'm tired of Hysteria. That's my band, and will always be my band.
Wow, wow. So you built well, you said specifically the king and queen costume.
Yes, over the years I've been the one building the King and Queen.
Wow, wow. Akim, you're so talented.
God give me the talents, the man with many talents.
Let's get into
I don't
let's
I
get
don't
more into
complain.
let's get more into the cake stuff, right?
Okay.
So you created your business. You decided to register your business, your cake business, a couple years ago. Tell us a little bit about why you decided that you wanted to get into, because so a lot of people do it for the love. They'll say, "Oh, I'll make a cake." I know a couple people who say, "Oh, I'll make a cake, or I'll make cake on." I have a couple friends even overseas who make cakes. They'll make black cake. They'll make all of these different things, and it's not something that they look for as a business. Yes, they charge people, but to actually develop it into a business, you've decided that you're going to make it into a business that you call ADI creation. So tell us
Yes.
a little bit about your cake business and what it entails.
All right. So a couple of years ago, I believe it was in 2012, thereabouts. Um, I remember, approaching Miss Landa, that's Leandra Landa, and I told her, I'm trying to develop a business name because I really want to register, to have a registered business because, as time passed by, I got more business and more orders. Um, I remember doing a cheesecake once, and everybody was like, well, that cheesecake was so good. can you make me one? Can you make me another one? And the word just went wrong about, with my good taste in cheesecake. And I said to myself, maybe I should really develop a business name and register that business. So it was Miss Landa who told me, why don't you name it ADI Creations, ADI Creations? So my business name came from Leandro. And yes, I went on and, well, I did not register it as it, but I was calling myself ADI Creation. So it's really about 6, maybe 7 years ago that I decided to register my business, yes, as ADI Creations.
What
So
sort of cake do you specialize in? Like, is it any cake, everything? Because some people will say, "Oh, I don't do fondant, or I don't do this, so I don't do that." Like, I've actually listen as a mom with kids who have birthdays, always looking for cakes, looking for a cake deal, looking for a good tasting cake. For my because I will not eat it, but I want to make sure that they get a good cake. They're not too sweet and all. What do you specialize in? Because you mentioned cheesecake.
I
What
do
sort of
all types of cakes, Jill. I have a list of cakes that I do, but I also recommend that that they give me the flavor of cake. So if it's something that I have never done before, like the one that I decided to do for the competition, I would
which we'll
go
talk
ahead
about?
and try it. Right, I would go ahead and try it before accepting the order. All right. So if it comes out okay, then I will say, okay, fine, I can do it. Let's go ahead with the order, and then I would add it to my list.
In terms of decorating, did that just come? Are you like because you talk about building costumes, so clearly there's the artistic part side to you. Did that just come naturally, or did you grind to get into the decorating?
Oh well, Jael, I forgot one thing. Pardon me. I used to do deco, interior decorating.
You see what I
So
mean?
I did about 3 years for Queen Show. 3 years, yes, I did 3 years for Queen Show, and on this level. And then afterwards, I said to myself, I cannot do this. The last year I did Queen Show, I remember I had free orders as well. So I was trying to deal with Queen Show and then to run home to ice cake. I'm saying it's not worth it. So I had to let go the interior decorating. I had to let it go. So I don't do deco anymore, but I also assist. If we have something at school, I will assist with that, with lovely things. Miss Lander, she would be the one doing the deco, so I will assist her. And if she calls upon me to help her with a deco, I will go ahead and help her. But I don't do it anymore. But you were speaking of the cake decorating,
Decorating.
right? Well, with the cake decorating, as I told you, my aunt, help me with that. Whenever she teach me something, I would go home and I would do it, especially the roses with royal icing. That was a challenge. That was a challenge. It took me many, many months to get that jail. So I would stay up in the night. I remember my mom saying, "But you're not going to sleep." I would stay up and I would try. I'd have my nail and the bag and I would be turning. If it doesn't come out well, I'll take it and I'll just squash it on this side and say, boy, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. And then I remember my aunt holding my hand and say, okay, this is how you do it. You ensure that you have a board and then you go, you twist, you twist, you twist. And eventually I got it. I don't even do royal icing roses anymore. I moved on to fondant roses and gum paste.
What
So
is this?
So I really
All
I
right.
practice. It came in natural, but I had the assistance of my aunt. And then of course I went ahead and I practice.
Akim, how do you stay in your baking and even in your decorating style?
Say that again?
How do you stay innovative in your baking and decorating style? Like, are there specific trends or techniques that you currently find exciting or even
Oh
challenging?
yes.
Like,
Oh yes. I always try to do something new, JL. Every cake that I get. You send me a picture of a cake, and of course I will give you the exact thing. But if you tell me, okay, you can alter it, you can make it pretty. So I try as much as possible to go on onto Google. Google is our inspiration now. Google and Pinterest and right and YouTube. So I'll use YouTube and try to find a cake I find that would be fitting for the kind of design that they sent me. So I would maybe add to it and make it a wow. And for me, Jael, honestly, anybody would know that. For me, even when I did the competition, simplicity. I
Wow.
love simple things, but it has to look elegant. That is just me.
And tastes good.
And taste good. Taste is just as important as the cake looks. It's very important.
We're gonna be talking a little bit about, we're gonna get into winning the Caribbean Baking Awards. And we want to talk a little bit about the competition, but I want to give you a little bit of time to get a little bit of water. So we're gonna take a break. We're gonna pay some bills, and then we're gonna come and talk about the Caribbean Baking Awards. I want to know all the details. I want to know why you register. I want to know all of the information. So we're gonna get into it. So Akim, you can take a little breather, right?
I will.
Get your thoughts together, and we're going to come back with more. All right?
Sure.
We're coming back with more in just a little bit. Stay tuned, guys.
Did you know that vegetable oil is an energy booster that contains fatty acids that helps control cholesterol levels? That's why I choose Natura vegetable oil. They are a rich source of vitamin A and E. It's the best choice for cooking, deep frying, and stir frying. It's perfect for cold dishes and for your salad dressings. Cook delicious foods with Natura vegetable oil. Natura vegetable oil is available in various sizes at all retailers island-wide and distributed by Springfield Trading Limited.
I love the Kalinago territory, I love the Kalinago people, and I really embrace my culture.
How the hell do we expect to survive as a communal society in a capitalist system?
We need to teach that history that have not been taught.
Let's get into this wash off mask by Red One. It's a detoxifying geothermal clay mask that has the power of geothermal energy designed to dive deep into the layers of your skin, detoxifying impurities and rejuvenating every single pore. It's rich in moisturizing agents and it ensures your skin remains hydrated, soft, and supple. Experience the dual magic of detoxification and hydration all in one luxurious mask. Your skin deserves the best. And don't forget, check out all the Red One products like the bubblegum gel that prevents flaking and helps your curls to remain popping. All available at Fresh Market HBC. All right, we're back, guys. We're back. We're here with Akim Ismael from Maho Massive in the house. Let's see who's on the. Somebody says best cake I've ever eaten was done by this man. He is a cake boss. Someone says flower arrangements in church too. You forget that.
Yes.
Flower arrangements, they have you covered. That is Janine Dublin McIntyre saying that.
Yes.
Once you give Akim a design for a cake, you don't have to worry. It will look the same like what you sent. It looks better. It's neat. The taste never disappoints. Angel Clark is saying that. Um, that woman that becomes your wife has everything she needs. You're so talented. She will learn a lot from you. That's Joanna Ambo is saying that. Full package. Kiki is saying that. Multi-talented, so proud of you. So many folks are saying so many wonderful things about you, Akim. If you've not shared the live yet, make sure you share the live. You get a chance to win. You get a chance to win goodies, right? If you shared the live, if you tag the most people on the timeline, you will be the winner. So the first person that tags the most people will be the winner of today's goodies. We're getting back into the conversation with Akim, and when we last left off before the break, we were getting into a little bit about the cake boss being at the Caribbean cake competition and winning the actual awards. Can you share with us a little bit about why did you decide to get into the Caribbean Baking Awards?
Well, Jael, it's not why I decided. I was nominated, okay, by a few of my friends. And interestingly, the first person who nominated me was a friend of mine from Jamaica. He actually called me and he told me, Akim, I saw something on Facebook. I'm not sure if it's real, but I'm going to just try it out. I need some information about you, your email address, and I have to say something about you, with regards to your cake making and decorating. So I told him, sure, let's just see if it's for real. I gave him the information and he went on and he nominated me. Then a few of my friends from Dominica, I told about it. They also nominated me. Justice Roberts, that's another one. Jody Dublin. Jody wrote a very nice, comment and a nice paragraph about me, and a few others. And then I got an email some weeks after. I got an email stating that I was nominated and if I'm willing to accept. So right there, I responded and I said yes. And then there was a voting process right after that. So people of your country and your friends outside of the country, they were encouraged to vote for you for the different categories that I was nominated for.
One thing I have to comment on is voting. When it comes to voting for this competition, I witnessed firsthand the power of Dominicans, and I say Dominicans because that's majority of who voted for me when I got to the Caribbean Music Awards,
Right.
and to know that they came full force. One of the things I absolutely love about our people is they don't come to play. They love to see somebody represented in anything that goes out there, regardless of who the person is or whether or not they're capable. They will give them their full support. And I want to kind of get a sense to know, how did you feel knowing that people who probably didn't even know you voted for you to make it to that competition?
Jael, honestly, I felt honored. I felt honored because I mean there are so many other people in the competition, but not. I was the only one from Dominica. Interestingly, other places had two and three. I was the only one in Dominica. And people who do not know me even voted for me because I was from Dominica. So I feel very much honored.
Can you describe to us the months leading up to the finals? I know there was a fundraising that had to go. You had to raise funds to get to Tortola. Tell us a little bit about that. Was that stressful? Like, what was going on in the months leading to the actual competition?
Well, Jill, so there was a semi-finals. Well, a semi-final. Well, we call it quarterfinals. So when I got nominated, the voting process started on the 15th of September and ended somewhere in November. So you could vote multiple times. So they were just, trying to gather the votes to see who would get the most votes. So right there, it was a popularity contest to see who would have gotten the most votes. And of course, Dominicans like voting, and my students voted for me. And then you would have moved to the final stage where they would have to vote for you once. So that was in December. So it was for just a period of 2 weeks. So you could only vote once. So you had to encourage people to vote. Everybody you meet, you had to, oh, please vote for me. And my students would say the same thing to their parents and their siblings and their cousins. Vote for Sir Ismael because Sir Ismael is in a baking competition. And then he was nominated for 7 awards. So please vote for every category. Then I would have to get my people from church to vote for me. So everybody I encounter, everybody I meet, I would ask them to know about the Caribbean Baking Awards, and I was nominated. I'm the only one from Dominica. So I want to encourage them to vote for me. And here is the link. Or what I would do, I would take their phones and I would vote vote for myself. Well, you have to help the processor. You have to help it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was the final stage. So everybody could vote only once, and then I got an email stating that I am one of the finalists. So I have to get to Totola to receive my award or awards, I would say. And also, there was a baking competition, the cake decorating competition. It wasn't a must, only if you wanted to participate. So right. So I told myself maybe I should take up the challenge to do so because I never got the opportunity to be, around people, with people being there, icing a cake. Although it put you under pressure though.
Wait,
I wanted to challenge myself. So right there, I responded to the email and I said that I am willing to participate in the competition. And that's the day before the actual awards ceremony. And of course, for you to receive your award, you would have to be on island. So that means, Jael, that I have to buy a ticket. At the time, I have to buy a ticket for me to get there. I have to look for accommodation and all of those things. So money is involved now. And then they said that we need at least 5 people. Well, it would have been like 3 4. You could have up to 5 people on your team. So they're saying that you would have to bring up a team with you because of how
why did you have to bring up a team?
because of how the competition was arranged. You're going to be there on site. It would be very hard for you to be alone to be icing a cake. So you need people to, take care of the treats that you're going to give to the guests, take care of the plating of the cakes for the judges to taste. You understand? So there are different things that that they had to do. So right there, I'm saying to myself, boy, who am I going to select to come with me? And it's going to be very difficult. So I remember, talking with Jody at the time. So one of the things too, I know a lot of people know Jody Sweetheart. She's another very great cake artist. She's my inspiration. She's my motivator. Just say Jody is everything. When it comes to cake, everything. If I'm frustrated, I can call Jody. If I have let's say 5 cakes, I can call Judy and say, Judy, can you help me? Can you come give me a hand? If she's free at the time, she will come. So I remember speaking with her, we would video call most of the times when I'm baking, I'm icing cake, she would be icing cake. So we would video call each other. And, I was talking, I said, Judy, I feel that I need you to come with me. I want you to come with me at the baking awards for the competition. And she was like, Akim, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? I may have so many orders. And I said, Judy, we have to plan ahead. This is December. The competition is in February. Let's plan ahead. And then, we had a little issue. She had to renew her passport. So I said, we got it. Judy cannot come again. Lord, Judy cannot come again. Judy has to make it. She has to make it. So we had to try to get that passport. And, to God be the glory, we got the passport. And yes, Judy accepted Then I said to myself, I'm very close to Judy as well. I'm saying to myself, Judy and I has been very good friends. Judy was my flute teacher. Judy taught me flute. So for the many years we have been friends, I say, maybe Jody would be a good spokesperson to come on there with me. So I asked her and she agreed. Then the secretary at Convent High School, we are very good friends, and I know she's very meticulous when it comes to the thing. So organizing shows and stuff like that. So I said, Tammy, I need you there. That's the same person that say your wife is ready. Right, Tammy Candy, whichever on Facebook. Right, so she agreed. And then I also asked my very good friend Leandra. We all know that Leandra went top of the game with those competitions and activities and events. So I said, I really wanted Leandra there because, even after the show I went on her show, and that's Elevate. I was always thinking of it, and I'm saying to myself, if I had to bring somebody, I would really want Landa to be there. So she accepted as well. So it was five of us who went up, but now we had to look for accommodation. We had to pay for the dinner and stuff like that. So we had to kind of respond. So I said to myself, I need to write to the companies in Dominica to see how I can get some sponsorship. And I went on and I wrote a letter and I sent it out to a few places. And I remember the first place who responded was Fine Foods. Fine Foods agreed to, sponsor, to give me all of the products, because when I was doing the online adult education course, that's during COVID, I advertised a lot for Fine Foods because they are the ones bringing in all the agents for Velvo Chris and Rose Fred Butter, and that's the shortening that I use when I do my icing. So I have always had that relationship with Fine Foods, right? So they agreed to sponsor, and then a lot more sponsors came on. Jael, honestly, that's one of the things that I love Dominica for. We support our very own, and you spoke about it. Honestly, I was very honored to have gotten all that sponsors. It was overwhelming. So
Wow, I want to commend everybody who really showed up for you. I mean, it was inspiring to see. A lot of us were looking online because I know it was streamed online.
yes,
So I was on Jodie's page at one time, like following through, and we were looking at it, and I also want to get all the questions that folks have to ask. But what inspired? So this person is asking, Kamal Khan online is asking, what was the inspiration for the theme and the design of your cake?
all right. So yes, so many of you would have seen my creation, the cake that I made for the competition. Jill, I want to start with the flavor of the cake. The flavor of the cake, I selected gooseberry jam. All right, the gooseberry jam flavored cake. Some persons ask me, how am I going to do this? When I shared with them that I'm going to do this, this flavor of cake. So I told them, well, one of the things that I can do is to sit and fruit it to take off the seed. And you know that it takes up a lot of time, right? So I
That
sat,
is fun.
so it's very much time consuming. So I sat down and I did it. But before I could, give a word that I was going to do it, it was my secret ingredient. I had to try it. As I said, anything that I'm trying new or anything that I'm going to do that is new, I have to try it out. So I went ahead and I got some gooseberry jam from my coworker who is Patricia Emmanuel. She is excellent on that gooseberry jam. Honestly, Jill, I've never tasted a gooseberry jam so good.
You
Right?
don't taste sweet and sour from Portsmouth yet from
Well,
Zavambai.
I don't know this and so, but that gooseberry, the juice, it's just so
Mm,
good. It's
mm.
really good. And I
And it's
remember eating
rich.
gooseberry as a child. I mean, this man would be passing me basket tamarind balls, gooseberry jam, coconut cheese. and I would buy the gooseberry jam and just have the seeds in my mouth, and I would take it and I would send it after my friend, So we made fun out of that, So I decided to select the gooseberry, and I went ahead and I tried it, and Jael, I used some members on staff to taste, to sample the product, and it was really good. It came out really nice, and I decided to just use the gooseberry jam as my secret ingredient for the cake.
And let me
Right.
tell you, that was a secret ingredient because not many people would think of gooseberry jam
That
and
is
and,
it.
and accessibility to gooseberry jam. I mean, who would think of that? Like
Right. Exactly, because of the seed.
that was a
The
weapon. That was
and
definitely a weapon, your secret weapon.
that is it. Yeah, so I did that, and I had to, get her to do some more for me so I could have traveled with the gooseberry. So she did it for me, and I tell her, Pato, do it extra nice, extra nice with all the spices. And she did a great job. Jill, for the people who looked at the competition, would have seen the judges eating the cake. Even one of the judges, the male judges, they devour the
They
cake.
inhaled it.
Right. So yeah, so that's how good it was. And even the comment by the judges, well, the judge who made the comment, she said that there was a great taste. And yeah, so we're going to talk about the cake itself. Now, I was laying on my bed and I was saying to myself, what am I going to do? What am I going to create? Because the criteria was that you create a cake, a wedding cake. So I selected the wedding cake category. You create a wedding cake that represents your country, or it depicts your country. So I had to think very deeply, very deep, JL. And because of my love for my country and all that my country has to offer, I decided to do some scenery. So I created a masterpiece, with a 40-year wedding cake. And of course, there are two things that I really wanted on the cake. One, the waterfall, and two, the cruise ship, where our cruise ship berth is located. It is so nice. If you look at the aerial view of the cruise, well, there's an aerial view of when a cruise ship is in port. See how it looks, the Gary Hotel, the Fort Young Hotel, the streets. It looks so nice. I said to myself, maybe I should create it as a destination wedding, using the cruise ship as the main thing, where the couples come from the cruise ship and get to Fort Young Hotel for
Get
the wedding,
married.
the wedding ceremony. But this couple, I wanted to make it in a way that the couple, they loved Dominica. They had a love for scenery, for the waterfalls, the greenery. So I created the cake in that way. So the two tiers in the middle, I decorated in green to create the forest and the waterfall coming from the forest. So on the cake there was a waterfall, right? And then the top of the cake, that we have so many tropical flowers, the roses, bird of paradise, the heliconias, orchids. So I decided to do these flowers in fondant, well, gum-paste fondant. And I use these flowers at the top of the cake, cascading down, at different areas on the cake to show the different flowers that we have in Dominica. And then, of course, the bottom part of the cake would have represented, as I said, the cruise ship berth. So on the bayfront. So you had a boat. So before I left for Totola, it took me 3 hours to do that boat, Jael. It took me 3 hours. Yes, I had to create the boat because you had to shape it, and that took up a little while. And working with fondant and these thick pieces of fondant, it wouldn't stay so well. So you had to add a little tylose in it to get it very hard. So I
Oh,
had to
really?
shape it right. So I had to shape it properly. Then I had to do the black. I had to ensure that
So
the black doesn't
you
run.
do parts of it.
Yes, beforehand. So I did the boat before. I did
Okay.
the boat before. Just the boat, and everything else I did in Tortola. So I transported, I shipped all my stuff that I had to use. So because I was accustomed of using the butter that I use here, I shipped that butter up because I wasn't sure that I was going to get this.
You wasn't taking a chance.
No, I wasn't taking a chance. Jig flour and sick sugar. I I shipped to and I did all my fondant, everything. I wrapped it properly and I shipped it as well. So I had
Wow.
all the materials, so I planned ahead. I put together all my material before I left and I sent it up. So I just had to work with the little things that I needed and whatever I had to get in Tortola. Yeah.
I'm,
So
I'm, I'm trying to access your the photo because I want to show folks, the photos of what you produce, like the winning, the champion um cake. So I'm trying to access it right now. I'm just pulling that up right now because folks might be wondering. Some folks who probably were not, following the championship, they may not know, what you did, and we really want to be able to share with folks and let them know what you did. So I'm just pulling it up now. Well, that is you playing. So these are some of the cakes that Akim has done. So guys, this is some of his creations, and this is you at the night winning, and this
right,
is your
so
win.
that's the case.
This is the winning cake.
Okay, so actually, Joel, Jael, it was a bit confusing. It said that I won first place, but there was a best kick in show, right? And that went to Trinidad and Tobago, right? But I
Mhm.
came in first place, but I still find my cake was a masterpiece,
Your
like the
cake was a
judges,
masterpiece. The
right?
waterfall.
Right, like the judges said that, taking a look at the cake, you could see the simplicity in the cake. It was so simple but so elegant that you could actually see what I was selling. I was selling my country, what my country had to offer. So it told a story. And of course, I told you all the story. So you can actually see it.
Folks are
And
saying so inspiring. The determination we have. I need more like you. You're so inspiring. I can't imagine what his wedding cake will look like. He's so very creative. So Kamal again was asking, is that the dream wedding? Is that for the dream wedding? Great job, Akim. Um, and I could tell looking at the show because I was looking that the judges were enjoying the cake. Like lick alone, they don't lick their fingers,
the way,
and I kind of saw one of them licking their finger,
No,
but they were.
and Tamara said to one of the judges, you could come back for the rest. He said, yes, I will come back.
But it definitely was. It looked great on when we were looking at it, and I mean just based on their reaction, you could tell it took them a moment because they were trying to figure out what is the taste, like, and but it wasn't a moment of oh my god, like they're not sure, or like when somebody not sure, they wondering like if that is a real taste. They were just like, damn, like this tastes so good, like what exactly is in it. And you did wonderful. A lot of folks want to commend you and congratulate you and your team. I mean, having that support system behind you,
They were
you must have felt
excellent.
really, because I saw Jody at one point. Jody was helping mix the batter for your
Yes, she did.
cake to like just like it was just like a whole event. Like everybody was there for you, and you really and truly you made us so very proud, Akim. Like it was for those of us who were looking on, we could tell that you put your heart and soul into the competition, and that you at this point though we didn't care if you won or lose, but we like our people to win.
Oh,
And you
yes.
know that we first took all say, Gasade vole, mister, vole, vole. And thing like I swear to God, if you had not gotten an award that night, I think people would have stoned down through the through the through the computer. They would have stoned down the
I believe
judges.
so. I
And
believe so.
even when they announced, you could hear Dominicans were in the room. Like, what was it like in the room? Like, were there other Dominicans? Because it just felt like that wasn't just 5 people.
That's why one of the judges came, the one who commented on my cake, and she said, "Boy, we need people like Dominicans to come and support." She said that was good. They supported. Yes, it was good.
I know it felt. How did it feel for you knowing that people were there supporting? Because I remember, when I did Caribbean Music Awards and being in the front, and when I came up, I could hear Dominicans screaming and they wanted Dominica. They were screaming like I could hear them. I don't know if you were hearing them on the camera, but it just felt so good to know that your people were there supporting you. How did you feel on that night, knowing not
I
just
was
your team?
I was so grateful for that, because on the night of the competition, we have to go back to the night of the competition. There are many Dominicans in total, right? And I tried reaching out to some, and of course, some of them reached out to me prior to the competition. And they asked me about tickets and all of that. So I told them where they could have gotten the tickets. Some said that they had gotten their tickets. And even so, some people that I had not seen for a while, they were there. And I was so grateful for their attendance, because, of course, they gave me the courage to do this, honestly. The
That
strength.
really does.
Yeah, because remember, yes, I had my team members, the four others, but remember, the other people, they are people that I do not know. I don't know if they can. I mean, they do better than me, or I wasn't feeling that way. That they are better than me. But we all do the same thing, cake decorating, and as we say, one must win. So I was trying to do my best. So I was feeling a little bit anxious, and a little bit nervous too. But after a while, when I saw my people from Dominica coming around and they were standing around,
All
I
has
said,
gone, right? All in the gone.
"All gone." I say, well, my people there to represent. Yes,
Uh, Congratulations again to you, Akim. Now being
thank you.
recognized as the cake boss, it really suggests a leadership role in the cake baking community or in the baking community. How do you mentor, inspire aspiring bakers, or what advice could you give to anyone who's trying to look into entering the world of professional baking or even cake decorating?
I know I have a lot of people that I inspired, that have been inspired. Okay, so I really want the people that have been into baking or are into baking right now. I know for one person, I can just share something. I know for one person who they have the love for baking, the art, but they feel that they are not good enough. And like I said to her, I was like that back then. I feel that I wasn't good enough. Like I would do a cake and I would also see somebody else who has been in cake for a while post their product, and I would say, Boje, that cake better than mine. What am I going to do? What am I going to do to reach to that point? And it all comes with practice, Jael. Practice, practice. If it's something that you love, you are to put your all into it. You will not be able to get something at the moment you're trying, but you have to continue trying. For example, look at when I was doing the flowers, the royal icing. It took me some months. It took me a while. And as I say, if I'm doing something new, I will try it and I will try it again on another cake. So you have to keep persevering. You cannot stop because you did something wrong or it did not come out good. You should not make that break you. It
You
all
probably
comes
have
with
you
practice.
probably have in classes. Somebody asked if you have in classes.
Well, normally I do the adult education classes, so I'm not sure where I'm going this year. I'm not sure
Okay.
as yet. So whenever that comes up, I can maybe say where I will be.
Yes.
Most times they send me in there.
But also too, I wanna let you know, Akim, because a lot of times, a lot of these things happen, especially where it's in the arts, culture, is happening around Dominica, and a lot of people don't know about it. They a lot of times it's low budget, not a lot of finances to advertise. I want to let
Yeah.
you know when you know, send a flyer to me so I can
Sure.
share on my platform, because
Sure, no problem.
it's very difficult for everybody to know, and sometimes people want to attend these classes. Like, I would probably be interested in attending a class if it's in close proximity to where I live, you know what I mean? So I would like to encourage you, and not just you but other people who teach these sorts of courses, anything to do with entertainment, art, culture. I'll be willing to offer my platform to share the information so people can attend these classes. So don't forget, once you decide,
I'll
just send
do.
your flyer to me, and I will be sure to post it so folks can know where you'll be at. Because I know a lot of potential people, a lot of people probably want to learn to do cakes and probably learn to do it just like you. What's next for you, Akim?
What's next for me?
Mhm.
I really want to move on to the next. Um, it's my intention to look at the kickbox show. You never know, sometime in the future. But I'm willing to do the competition again. As you know, it's an annual thing. I can do the competition. Maybe not the voting, but the competition. That is on the day before. I really want to participate in that again. But for now, anything in the future, it can be kickboss, anything on my own YouTube page. I'm looking at that as well.
Yes, yes, me like it, all of that good stuff. Akim, you've made us all proud as a Dominican. You've made us proud. I want to commend you. You are a man of many talents. I want to congratulate you on you winning at the awards, at the Caribbean Baking Awards, and I just want to tell you to just keep doing your thing, keep doing what you love, keep encouraging young people. You've take part in so many different things. You're definitely multifaceted, and I want to just tell you, that we all love you. We're all rooting for you. We all show you support, and just keep doing it. You made us so proud of that night. Let me tell you, I was watching Jody thing and Motica, hey, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream, and
And
I
I
know I
know
see
you have it.
Clever said she was screaming, like we were screaming. I say, even see they didn't think you, but they would have get stood for that thing. But you definitely made us proud, and we look forward to seeing what else you have in store whenever you do, because a lot of us, I didn't even know that you were participating in a competition until Jody shared it. And that's when I really, again, too, because I follow Jody, I actually turn on my notifications for things that Jody would post, because I like to share some of her stuff that she posts. And that's when I knew that you were involved. And at that point, I think the GoFundMe had just closed down. I was like, I couldn't even donate, so a lot of times, a lot of folks want to be part of it, and we don't get that opportunity to do.
Yeah,
But
no,
I was
right. Yeah, not aware of it happening.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
glad that we were there with you on the night, and a lot of us got to see you and experience you receiving your awards and stuff. And kudos to you, kudos to your team. You definitely had a champion team with you as well. So kudos to them for making it happen. And
And
I
I
want
also
to leave
want to
you.
say a big thank you to my sponsors. Most importantly, they made it possible. They made it possible for me going to Tortola. So thank you to all of my sponsors. I don't want to call them and miss anyone, but they know themselves.
Mm.
And of course, soon I'll be treating them very soon.
You'll be getting a treat from
Yes,
Akim.
of course.
Akim, thank you very much. I want to leave you with the final word. If you want to shout out anybody, I know you shouted out your sponsors, but anybody you want to shout out who's really impacted your life, who's really helped you along your route, your journey to whether
I
it is
do have a lot.
boss, whether it is musician, whether it is. I know there's some people that are at the top of our mind sometimes, and if you want to shout them out, and I leave the floor to you right now.
All right, I just want to shout out my mom. Mommy, I love you so much. You have always been my number one person my support when I stayed with my mom and my dad. My mom would keep me company. Staying up baking. She would tell me she's going to take a little rest, and she will wake up to me to come back and meet me. My mom would clean for me when I'm tired. I'm very tired. And just offer some words of encouragement. Sometimes when I'm very frustrated, she will be there to help me. So, mommy, you know that I love you plenty, 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 plenty. And also my dad. A few more people, my sister, my brother Terry. Trust me, that is one close bond that cannot be broken. My siblings and myself, my sister. Also, Justice, Wine, and Adrian. Oh gosh.
She always on the live. She's a Jael fan. Or how you doesn't watch my show, she comes
That's
in every.
that's my other mom. When I'm up baking jail, I would be so tired. And she would keep me company. It would be 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, we are on the phone. I'm telling you. And she is one of my biggest supporters. She will support me in anything. I can go to Wynette, I can talk to her I can talk to her about anything. She will always be willing to guide and to give me the best advice ever. Why not? Thank you so much for being such a good friend to me. Auntie Ivanette, this from my big, I can call certain people that have been there from the beginning. And Ivanette is one that have always been there from the beginning. She was the one who gave me my first mixer, my first mixing bowl. She was just there with me and she wanted me to do it, and she was always there to encourage me. So thank you so much, Auntie Ivanette. My aunt who passed away this is very dear to my heart. She has always been there to support me. She has always shown me a lot of techniques, and I will never forget her. All right, I will never ever forget her. So many people that I would want to mention, and it will take me a little while. So they know themselves. So thank you very much for your support. You all also give me the extra push to continue with that, with the many talents that I have. And like I said, I only use it to glorify God. So I use my talents to share it with others. And I'm expecting the talents that I share with you all, that you will also share them with others as well, the people that you encounter. All right. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been in my corner. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Akim, for joining us on the show. It was a pleasure having you. And again, I wish you all of the best. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
Bye for now.
Bye bye. Guys. This is where we wrap up for this week. Thank you to Akim Ismael for coming through and sharing with us a little bit about his journey, his life, love, things that he loves doing. It was such an honor having him. And to you, of course, those of you who tuned in, those of you who tagged, we're going to be coming back and checking out to see who won those goodies, who won the goodies. I also want to say to Akim, you can go back on the live. A few folks would have obviously commented and shared some words of wisdom or given advice or congratulations to him, and he can feel free to respond underneath that chat. To you guys who came on, thank you so very much. Thank you very much to the sponsors, Digicel, S Smart, Springfield Trading, Finance Focus. Thank you very much for being part of the show. I want to say special thanks to Digicel. Digicel has been sponsoring since I started off this new segment of Jael Joseph Live. So they have agreed to sponsor all my shows. So that is fantastic. I really, I've been in Digicel for quite some time, and I'm so grateful to them for the support. Marva and the rest of the gang, the support that they give to me. Thank you very much for agreeing to support my show. Because not only am I a brand ambassador, they also support my show really just say, and I'm so ever so grateful to them. Don't forget to take advantage of the match madness that's going on. You could be the next person to win $1,000 cash. All right. So don't forget, take advantage of all of the different promotions from Digital. Also want to say thank you very much to you who came on, those of you who came on, those of you who shared, those of you who tagged, those of you who are the regulars, the top fans. I see you. Thank you very much for all the support that you showed to me. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back next week. Next week we have a show. We already have a guest. We're scheduled, and we're gonna have Natasha Green, who is the one of the nominees for Kalinago Chief. And she's going to be joining us next week. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be talking to her. As you know, a lot of the work that I do is correlates with the Kalinago territory, and I always want to give them an open home here on my shows, my platform, whether it's to promote, whether it's to help them get funding, whether it is anything that I can do in my power. And their elections are coming up sometime in the summer. I believe it's either July or August. And I want to be able to give them a space that they can come on and share about some of the things that they plan to do for the Kalinago territory. And I want to encourage every single one of you to tune in again. Come on, share the live. I'll have some goodies. I'll have some makeup stuff to give away next week. Probably some perfume. I'll let you guys know, but you gotta stay tuned, right? Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Love you guys a lot. Thanks for your support. I appreciate you. I'll be back same time, same place next week. See ya. Bye-bye.